It was a huge risk to change my career path, but as I was saying, one of the biggest successes in my professional life for sure, and really something now that the new company I hope to build upon.
Hi, I'm Sehr Thadhani, and today I'm here with Athena Conturiadis, the CEO and founder of Avenzo. Athena, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You went from being a doctor to a chief medical officer to a CEO, and then you took your company public. I'd love to know a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, thank you first of all for having me. When you asked to tell a little bit about myself, it's interesting because I always start with, I think in so many ways you're shaped really young in life, and I was shaped by two amazing women. My grandmother, who was a nurse, in many ways is really the reason I went in the direction of medicine and became a physician. And my mom, who had me very young, she had me at the age of 19. And in many ways, because of some of the things and sacrifices that she made, I made a lot of decisions early, took a lot of risks, and some of those risks included leaving academics, so leaving what would have been a life in a hospital for the most part as a pediatric oncologist, and going into biotech/pharma. I really chose this career because I was a little bit disenfranchised with the way that pharmaceutical companies developed or didn't develop drugs for children. And for the most part, especially within oncology, most drugs are developed for adults. And as somebody that was trained in pediatrics, I wanted to have the same access to the same drugs. So that was really the reason that I chose a completely different career path versus staying in the hospital. And so I was very lucky early on to work at some smaller biotech companies and then larger pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Bristol Myers Squibb that really taught me how to develop drugs, especially within cancer. And so I stayed within that area for quite a while, and then got an opportunity to become CEO of a company that I took public in 2019 called Turning Point Therapeutics. And that was by far one of the best things that it was a huge risk to change my career path, but as I was saying, one of the biggest successes in my professional life for sure, and really something now that the new company I hope to build upon that.
You're doing it all over again. What inspires you to do that?
Well, so first we did take Turning Point public in 2019. We were, the co-founder of Avenzo was my chief medical officer at Turning Point. This is Dr. Mohammed Hermond. And so he and I were working together for about 3 years. And then in the middle of last year, we got acquired. And so Turning Point got acquired by Bristol Myers Squibb. And so to some extent, we didn't get to finish what we had started together. And that was really, in many ways, what inspired us to start something again. It was not just so much being able to develop drugs, but I really am proud of the company culture that we built at the prior company. And so being able to do that again, and we're now a little team, we're 8 team members, but all of us have worked together. Most of us were at Turning Point together. And so it's really kind of bringing the little family back together. I started at that prior company when we were only 18 employees and got it up to almost 300. And so that growth is really something that I hope I can do again.
And what does your company do?
So right now we are still in what's called stealth mode. So we have a great syndicate of investors so far. We have 5 firms that have supported us, including OrbiMed, Foresight Capital, Surveyor, Citadel, SR1 that used to be a component of GlaxoSmithKline, and an Asian fund for the most part called Lilly Asia Ventures, or LAV. Those are our 5 investors. We put a seed round together, which some were laughing at me at the number, but the seed round was $200 million approximately. And it really, in many ways, was a testament to the investors having confidence in Mohammed and I to be able to build a company around oncology drugs again. So right now we're on a complete hunt. We've been looking at assets that other companies are not going to take forward potentially, and they may be capital restrained, or they may just be looking for a partner if it's a China-based company for a partnership outside of China. And the idea is to get early stage assets and bring them through what would be the beginnings of clinical development towards registration, exactly like we did at Turning Point.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Are $200 million seed rounds common?
No.
Especially in this market?
No. I do think there are some that have been fortunate to be able to do big rounds. when you're founding companies, and for the most part, those are CEOs and teams that have had a strong track record on either prior IPOs and acquisitions. And Mohammed and I, between the two of us, have gone through 5 acquisitions now, and I've done 2 IPOs.
So it's a massive testament to your background.
I think there's quite a bit that shows the confidence that they have in he and I
Yes.
to be able to do what we've done before. But it really is not just he and I. Again, like I said, we've already brought 6 of our prior team members, and that team will grow with us. And so, having the success that we had at Turning Point and the ability to hopefully do that again is what our investors are betting on.
Incredible. Where
Thank
do you
you.
see Avenzo in 2 to 3 years?
Well, 2023 is the big year that hopefully we will get an initial asset into the pipeline. So we're currently discussing multiple assets that are at, as I said, that early stage of development to bring in, and then we would start doing the clinical trials in patients. That would bring us into 2024, and I would anticipate by this time of next year, we're probably no longer a private company, and we've probably gone out on Nasdaq.
Okay, amazing. Well, we'll be waiting for you.
Thank you. Thank you for that.